Blackbeard's final battle didn't happen on a massive pirate ship. It happened on a small, fast, and deadly sloop called Adventure. So what did this legendary vessel actually look like? Let's crack open this model kit and find out. This is a 1:60 scale wooden ship model kit from Amati. And right away, the box does a really good job pulling you in. It's clean, simple, and straight to the point. But that finished model on the front? Yeah, I'm 100% using that as my build reference later. Alright, let's open this up and see what we actually get inside. One thing to note, there are no pre-made sails in this kit. You'll be making your own from the included sailcloth. Which is awesome if you like a customization, but yeah, it does add actual work. The instructions are more of that classic style, mostly drawings and diagrams. They're clear if you already know what you're doing, but if you're new, you might find yourself staring at them for a bit, trying to figure things out. In terms of difficulty, I'd call this a solid next step kit. If you have already built 1 or 2 wooden ships, you will feel pretty comfortable here. Now, could this be your very first build? Yeah, it's definitely possible. But just know, you will be figuring things out a bit more on your own. So expect a steeper learning curve and a lot more patience. And when it's all done, this thing is not small. You're looking at roughly 80 centimeters long, 60 centimeters tall, and about 14 centimeters wide. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty impressive display piece, whether it ends up in your living room or your office. The laser cut wood parts look really sharp and clean. Pretty much what you expect from a Amati. The keel and the frames are made from plywood, which is standard for most mid-tier kits, and honestly, it just makes the whole structure more forgiving to work with. This is a double planked hull, so you will get basswood for the first layer and walnut for the second. Great combo. The basswood is soft enough and easy to shape, and the walnut gives you that nice, clean finish on the outside. All the other wood chips look solid too, nice and consistent. You're not going to spend hours sanding everything down, which is always a win. Now, since this is a smaller vessel, you're not getting flooded with hundreds or thousands of tiny metal parts like you would on a massive 100-gun warship. And honestly, I kind of prefer builds like this. You still get to go through everything, the hull, the deck fittings, the rigging, even the sails. But none of those stages drag on forever. Each part feels manageable, like you can actually see progress every couple of weeks, which work perfectly if your patience level is anything like mine. All the metal parts and the small fittings come nicely packed in separate plastic bags, so everything is easy to find and sort. No digging around trying to guess what is what. The cannons and the cartridges are brass cast, with really nice detail. And yeah, brass isn't cheap these days, so it's good to see that quality is still here. Yes, this isn't exactly a new kit, from what I find. It originally came out somewhere in the late 80s or early 90s, and then got a proper refresh in 2007 with the laser cut parts. So it kind of sits in that interesting spot. Classic design, but with more modern manufacturing. Right now it's sitting around 120 euros before shipping and tax, around $140 from Amati's website. Honestly, that puts it in a really nice spot. This would make a great gift, Christmas, Father's Day, or just a gift to yourself. For rigging materials, this is where Amati really stands out. The threads are fine, clean, and not fuzzy, so they actually look like scale ropes instead of, string. If I had to nitpick one thing, it would be these swivel guns. They are cast together with the months, so you cannot adjust the angle up and down. Not a huge deal, but a bit of a missed opportunity. That said, this kit design goes all the way back to the late 80s and is priced on the lower end for wooden ship models. So yeah, maybe I'm asking for a bit too much here. One quick final note. Some of you might be thinking, wait, are we sure this was actually the ship Blackbeard fought his final battle on? Because this doesn't really look like a typical sloop. And yeah, that's a really good catch. When we think of a sloop today, it's usually a single mast. But this one has two, which makes it look closer to a brig or even a topsail schooner. Here's the interesting part though. Historical records suggest that the Blackbeard heavily modified the Adventure. He likely took a more basic vessel and turned it into a much more heavily armed sloop of war style pirate ship. So what we're looking at here is less of a strict textbook definition, and more of a this is probably what it evolved into kind of reconstruction. And honestly, that just makes this even more interesting. I will dive a lot deeper into that history and how this model lines up with it in the full build video. So if you want to see how this all comes together, I will see you there.